Hey guys, my name is Chris, and these are top 5 cheapest things that you should have in your camera bag. Let's go. Number 1, extended eyepiece or eye cup, whatever you want to call it. Now, it's a little bit deeper than your normal eyepiece that, you would have on your camera. And, I don't know about you, but I like looking through the eye. New York City, man. Sirens every day. If you're like me and you are pretty much old school and you like looking through the EVF rather than LCD screen, only time I would use an LCD screen is, if I'm trying to go for a really low angle or a really high angle, then I would use the screen for that just because, it tilts and a lot more comfortable to capture videos that way or photos. This will help you back off a little bit from your LCD screen. So if you're ever showing the photos to your client or model that you're working with, you're not going to have like some nasty smudge on your LCD screen. I don't know about you, but I hate showing a dirty camera to a client or a model. And another thing is that, if you're wearing a mask these days, it's kind of like a new normal. I actually saw this in Jared's video where, he said that he was wearing a mask during one of his shoots. And whenever he's trying to look through the viewfinder, it's fogging up the EVF. Now with this, it's just like off a little bit so that you're actually not fogging up the EVF. So you're probably thinking that, okay, so what if you put your face onto it? Like, won't the LCD screen not switch to the EVF? Well, let's try that out. Okay, so the camera's on. All right, and if you put your face closer to the EVF, boom, it works. And what it also does is, like, if it's really bright out, this actually hugs your eye pretty well. So, like, there's not a lot of light leaking in. So when you're looking through the EVF, you actually see just your EVF and you're not going to get any, glare and that kind of stuff while looking through it. Like right there, like a little pirate, like, it's like looking through a little thing, Number 2 is a cleaning kit. I know it sounds a lot like, it's just like a duh kind of situation where everybody has a cleaning kit, right? But, you'd be surprised how many photographers, actually don't have one of these in their bags. Now, a standard cleaning kit will come with an air pump, microfiber cloth, a lip gloss. It's actually not a lip gloss. It's actually, well, it could be, it's actually a brush, although it does look like a lip gloss, So yeah, no, like if you're like me and you hate having dust or sand, especially if you go to the beach a lot during the summer times, you can just dust it off. So the pump, it gets, debris out of there pretty fast wherever your brush can't reach. Pumps usually used for like the inside of your camera, where proper way to do it is facing your camera down. That way all the debris comes off or falls off whenever you clean your sensor and that kind of stuff. Now, number 3, a CPL filter, also known as Circular Polarizer. Now, you're probably thinking, shouldn't a photographer get an ND filter rather than a CPL filter? Now, those two things are very different. They do different things. I just prefer a CPL rather than a ND filter or a VND just because I have a lot more use for a CPL filter. Now, with a CPL filter, it cuts off the highlights on a lot of reflective surfaces that you would be shooting. Now, as a portrait and fashion photographer, this includes, jewelry, accessories, skin. Whenever I'm shooting with somebody who has relatively oily skin, this helps cut that back. So with it being able to, adjust and that kind of stuff versus the regular one, you can just set of how much highlights you can cut, whenever you're shooting outside and it just rains. And you want to cut the highlights that are, reflecting off of wet surfaces, or if you're doing a car shot of somebody inside and you're shooting from outside and the windows are up or through the windshield, this will cut the glare and reflection of the highlights on the window. Now, I'm not really a fan of putting filters on the camera, but this is what, if there's anything, that this is the one that I would have in my camera bag, which I do. Number 4 is painter's tape. Now, I wouldn't necessarily have a whole roll of painter's tape in my bag just because it does have some weight to it. So what I would do is get a Sharpie, and just take maybe 5-10 foot of painter's tape, just roll it around it. And this, it doesn't have to be a Sharpie. It can be a pen, pencil, whatever floats your boat. And you can just stuff this in your bag, forget about it until you need it, and then there it is. It'll help you take down the backdrops if you're in the studio, even clothing. If you need to tuck in some clothing on your model rather than photoshopping it, you can just literally tape a part of their clothing and it'll look nice rather than you liquefying it in Photoshop. Number 5 is a battery backup. Now, a good battery backup is actually hard to find. This one is made by Solar Pro US. This is not sponsored or anything. So I'm not going to be putting up links or anything, but yeah, this is what it is. What it is a dual charge, you can either plug it through a USB cable or you can charge it by solar. So that's pretty cool, right? The capacity on this is 30,000 megamps and it has an output of 5 volts, which is, 5 volt output is actually, you can actually use this for your cameras. So if you have a camera that can be powered through USB, this is your best bet. I wouldn't use this all the time to power a camera, but like if your batteries ever run out, you can use this to power your camera or recharge your batteries. So that's it, guys. Hopefully these 5 little things will help you if you don't already use them. If you have any other ideas or accessories that you have in your bag and you want to let people know, leave them in the comments below. Talk about it. We'll update this video if anything. And that's it. Thank you for watching. See ya.